Okay, so I think it's time to start our networking event. So good morning everybody, and welcome all participants, welcome our panelists, as well as our support staff who will take care about the quality and all technical aspects of our transmission. My name is Alexander Bachowski. I'm a team leader of group of experts, international experts of technical assistance project Turkey in Horizon 2020. Of course, now our project is targeting on Horizon Europe, and today's event is organized in the frame of our project. We are working for TÜBİTAK, so this event is jointly organized with TÜBİTAK, also with Sabancı University and Enterprise Europe Network and Argamit. So these are our organizers. These are organizers of this event. So today's event is an international networking event. It's dedicated to Cluster 4. But as a matter of fact, we will cover 2 destinations dedicated to industry. So dedicated destination number 1, climate neutral, circular, and digitized production, and cluster 2, increased autonomy in key strategic value chains for industry. Our expert and speaker for this plenary session will be Marta Herrero Posadas from Active Technology Center. And now I would like to, after this introductory remarks, I would like to pass the floor to a national contact point for Cluster 4 from TÜBİTAK, Hale Ay. Hale, screen is yours now.
Thank you, Alexander. Dear distinguished guests, my name is Hale Ay. I'm working at TÜBİTAK in the Department of European Union Framework Programs as Horizon Europe Cluster 4 Industry National Contact Points. Welcome you all to our Horizon Europe Cluster 4 Industry International Networking event. We are organizing this brokerage event in collaboration with more than 15 European institutions. I'd like to thank all our co-organizers for their contribution to disseminate this brokerage event. As emphasized in the work program of Cluster 4, progress in digital and industrial technologies shape all sectors of the economy and society. They transform the way industry develops, create new products, and they're very crucial to sustainable future. In Cluster 4, as Alexander said, there are 2 destinations dedicated to industry. Destination 1 is climate neutral, circular, and digitized production. This destination focuses on the twin green and digital transition, providing a green productivity premium to manufacturing, construction, and energy-intensive industries, including process industries. Destination 2 is increased autonomy in key strategic value chains for resilient industry. This destination covers research and innovation activities, focusing on 4 areas that are key for resilience of European Union industry. These are raw materials, advanced materials, circular value chains, and preparedness of businesses, SMEs, and startups. Today, our distinguished speaker, Ms. Marta Herrero Posadas from Cardiff Technology Center, will inform us about the core topics of these 2 destinations. Then we will have 2 pitching sessions. 18 participants will present their organizations, research interests, previous project experiences, and their project ideas to us. We expect all of our participants to attend these pitching sessions. Our event will end with the matchmaking event, which is one of the most quick and easy way to meet potential cooperation partners. After this short introduction about the event, I'd like to inform you about the recent success of Turkish organizations in Horizon programs. Turkey has made important progress in Horizon 2020, especially in the last 2 years. Turkish industry, both large industry firms and SMEs, have a great contribution to this success. Turkish stakeholders have started to participate in the consortiums, not only as partners, but also coordinators. Thanks to the TÜBİTAK's Coordinator Support Program, the number of Turkish organizations coordinating the consortiums have increased dramatically from 7 to 29 in the last 2 years of the program. We believe that this kind of brokerage events help to increase our participation and success in Horizon programs. Before closing my speech, I'd like to inform you that the association agreement confirming Turkey's participation in Horizon Europe program was signed in Brazil yesterday. Turkey is now a formally associated country to Horizon Europe. Thank you so much for listening to me. I wish all of you a fruitful event. Alexander, that's all from my side, and the floor is yours again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Hale. Especially important information is this association agreement. So now Turkey is formally associated country and can participate in Horizon Europe as has the same rights as member states. And thank you for presentation of our event. So there is nothing to add. And I think we will move directly to Marta and her presentation of calls under Destination 1 and then under Destination 2, and then we will move to pitching sessions.
Okay, thank you, Alexander.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hale, and all TÜBİTAK team for inviting Kartif and myself to this presentation. I'm going, like this is better. I'm going to.
You should go, we have full screen, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. This first presentation is about the Destination 1, climate neutral, circular and digitized production. But please let me check one first introduction about Fundación Kartif or Kartif Technology Center, as we are a research center specialized in offering global solutions to companies, and we have over 25 years of experience. As you can see on the image on the right, we work in different areas. In the blue ones in the energy, the gray ones about digital solutions, and the green ones more focused on agro-food and processes. And this allow us to have the opportunity to participate currently on 69 ongoing international projects. 56 of them are from Horizon 2020, and we are coordinator of 13 of them. Here you can have the name of some examples that are relevant for this cluster, and especially Destination 1 and Destination 2. And here on the left, you can see the ones that are coordinated by us. As you will be able to have the slides from my presentation, you will have all the information and all the links to the websites for each of the projects. So now that it is done, please let me a short introduction. I'm suppose you all of you are related to the new Horizon Europe program. We are focused on the cluster 4 in the pillar 2 of global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. And it's about the cluster 4 is all in digital, industry and space. And as a huge cluster, the good presentation that Hale has done, we have different destinations trying to focus in the different aspects of these sectors. This brokerage event is about Destination 1 and 2, but there is also Destination 3, 4 and 5, more dedicated to the digital and data technologies. and the destination 6 that it's more focused on the human center and ethical development. So with this short introduction about the cluster, because we have limited time, we are going to focus on the destination 1, climate neutral, circular and digitized production. And if we are going to be interested in working in this destination, we need to start from the strategic plan of Horizon Europe and to focus especially for this cluster 4. So this destination has a specific focus on the key strategic objective of making Europe the first digitally led, circular, climate neutral and sustainable economy. The objective A about promoting an open strategic autonomy by leading the development of key digital enabling and emerging technologies. And the D objective that is more resilient, inclusive and democratic European society involving different sectors as for example, the healthcare and empowering all the citizens in the green and digital transition. So starting from these 3 general objectives of the strategic plan, there is one expected impact for the cluster 4, that is the global leadership in clean and climate neutral industrial value chains, circular economy and climate neutral digital systems and infrastructures. This is a full complete impact, but destination 1 split in different ones to be targeting, and so each of the topic can contribute to at least one of these. So with the full destination, it can be approach all of them. So the first one is the accelerate the twin green and digital transition that is of huge relevance in the manufacturing and construction sectors. Also to create a new green, flexible and digital way to build and produce goods. This is also sustainable, flexible and responsive and resilient factories and value chains. Also to reduce CO2 emissions and waste, which is one of the key points of this destination. Also, to make the jobs of the human in this sector, in the manufacturing and construction, more attractive and safer, and have opportunities to upskill their jobs. Sorry, and also the next impact is about the contribute to, of course, the climate neutral, circular and digitalized energy intensive industries, increase the productivity, including here some specific issues, for example, as many as possible new large hubs for circularity by 2025, that it's almost here. And we have also the sustainable ways for utilization of waste stream and CO2 and CO, and electrifying industry to enable and foster to switch with the renewable energy system. As said before, also the reduction of waste and CO2 emissions to also take advantage and use them as alternative feedstock to replace the fossil-based raw materials. So having all those impacts into account, some key points about the destination 1. It's in this destination, there are many topics working with international cooperation. In those cases, each topic will specify if there is any specific country to relate. This is also the do not significant harm that all of you know that is a novelty in this Horizon Europe program, but it is specifically important for this destination and cluster due to the relevance of the manufacturing and processing industries. Other key point of this destination is that there are 3 co-program partnerships. Co-programs are contractual arrangements between the European Commission and one specific association in order to promote the aim and the sector of this association into specific topics. The good point about these partnerships is they focus specifically on those and trying to solve those problems that maybe in other typical and the point is that they're focused by industry point of view. So in this cluster 4 and destination 1, we have specifically 3 co-program partnership. One is Made in Europe, that you can that it's developed by EFRA, and it has been also in Horizon 2020. We have the Clean Steel focusing on this sector, and we have also the Processes for Planet, that it was the SPIRE partnership before in Horizon 2020. Another critical point of these 3 partnerships is that it's a pilot action, that some of the topics that start in over TRL level of 4 and reaching at least 7, 8, those actions are going to be funded by the 60% of the total cost, although the non-profit legal entities are going to be funded the 100%. So this is you know that the typical funding rate is the 70%, but in this co-program partnership, as they are focusing specifically on industries, they are going to be funded just the 60%. Other key points about this destination is that it has links, for example, with other clusters, as in cluster 5 with the integration of renewable energies and thermal for the use in industries. It has also relevance with the European Innovation Council and the whole pillar 3 of the Horizon Europe that we have seen in the first slides, due to the importance that the small and medium enterprises or SMEs have in this destination. Other synergies with other European programs, as of course the Digital Europe program, the AT manufacturing and digital kicks, and also the thematic and smart specialization platform on industrial modernization. The last point to point out in this destination is the proposals have to include a business case and exploitation strategy for industrialization. Many of the topics are expecting this one, and it has to be included to the normal template of the proposal. So I have moved too much. Okay, so here we have the total budget of the call. We have here the 2021 call that closed in September. But the one that is interesting for us is the call for 2022, that has a slightly a smaller budget of 334.5 million euros, but it's still enough of opportunities to participate. The deadline for all the topics that are going to explain right now is the 30th of March in 2022. So we are still on time to prepare proposals and participate. So this is good to have today good opportunities. So each of the destinations are, this is not specific for this cluster, is the actual structure that have developed in Horizon Europe, is that they have focused the different topics in focus areas or headings. So there's a way that to structure all the topics to focus in moving into one specific direction. So we have one heading of green, flexible, and advanced manufacturing that it's almost related with the partnership of Made in Europe, advanced digital technologies for manufacturing, that is also for Made in Europe. The third one is the new way to build, accelerating disruptive change in construction. And the fourth, hubs for circularity as towards the climate neutrality and circularity in industry. So it's a Processes for Planet destination also. The fifth is about the circularity of resources in the process industries, including waste and CO2 and CO. And depending on the topic, we have topics for processes for planet and clean steel. And the same happened in the last heading, that is the integration of renewables and electrification in process industry. So here we have the four first topics of the work plan As I said before, it's all made in Europe. We have one innovation action and 3 research and innovation action. You are going to see that I have included the link in each of the topics, because I have tried to be concise to at least 1 or 2 specific aspects that the topic is asking for. But you need to include all the information and solve all the problems that the topics want to solve. So the first topic is the twin transition 0101, the rapid reconfigurable production process chain. So this is specifically for flexible systems. As you can see, it's an innovation action moving from TRL 5 to TRL 7. And as we are in a Made in Europe partnership, it has the 60% funding rate. The critical point here is that there's a specific mention to the demos that need to cover the different steps running at medium or high volume manufacturing rates, including the logistics. So with the available budget for each project that is between 8 and 10 million, you need to define those demos to cover all the steps. The next one is the twin transition 0102, which is products with complex functional surface. And this is a research action, so we don't have to worry about the funding rate. And it's about developing different technologies for surface treatment, and the specific bottlenecks are to decrease the environmental footprint and energy consumption, and the integration in the full manufacturing processes to also take into account in the environmental footprint and the energy consumption. The third one, that it belongs to the same green, flexible, and advanced manufacturing block of topic, is the excellence in distributed control and modular manufacturing, a research action focus on full modular processing to organize and control reconfigurable manufacturing systems. And it's a specific mention to new production models for the processes not already developed. The fourth one, the twin transition 0104, intelligent workpiece handling in a full production lane. Again, a research and innovation action. As you can see, they have they are all in the same partnership. They have the same TRL advanced levels and the budget. And this is about the flexible, resilient, reconfigurable, and agile production lines. So the second heading that we need to point out is the advanced digital technologies for manufacturing. So in this case, we have 2 topics: one innovation action, another research action, with a different scoping in both of them. The innovation action is about ICT innovation for manufacturing sustainability in SMEs. As an innovation action, we know that this has 60% funding rate, and this specific topic has financial support to third parties up to 60,000 euros. And in this case, the budget is important to SMEs, because the 50% of the budget allocated of each of the project has to be to support different types of small and mid-caps enterprises. As well, it can be as partners or as third parties, but the 50% of the budget allocated. It is also mentioned the complementarity to digital innovation hubs, And there are some technologies mentioned of the topic as example as artificial intelligence, industrial Internet of Things, advanced interfaces, or smart working environments. Okay, the next topic is about the Twin Transition 0107 digital tools to support the engineering of circular economy. So research action moving from TRL 3.4 and up to TRL 6. And this is about innovative concept, methods, and tools to track and trace the status of relevant manufactured products and components. So as we need to track and trace, we need to handle real-time production data in analysis, and at least we need to support a tool for two different realistic production environments. So although it is a research action, it's focused on real production environment. We move to the next heading that is focused on the construction sector. And in this case is an innovation action focused on demonstrate the use of digital logbook for buildings. An innovation action, but as it is not related to a co-program partnership, sorry, the funding rate is the usual one, and it is focused, as the title said, to focus to demonstrate the potential of the digital building logbooks to increase the efficiency, circularity, and transparency, and improve the decision making for all the actors. Although it's not related to one of the three partnerships specified in the for this cluster, it has to be related with the Build for People co-program partnership that is focused on the cluster 5 on climate and energy. But so specific documents as the strategic agenda or so needs to be focused on this topic. Moving to another headline, there is the Hubs for Circularity, a stepping stone towards climate neutrality and circularity in industry. In this case, we only have one topic for this call in 2022, and it's focused in processes for planet partnerships. So you see here the 60%, and it's to develop the concept of industrial urban symbiosis on a real scale demonstrator. So as you can see, this budget of 12-18 million should be enough to be developed. And it has some specific impacts to achieve that. It's to the reduction of the 80% in weight or volume of solid waste. So you need to engage different waste management actors in novel value chains to develop, to upcycle back to secondary materials instead of downcycling. The next heading is the enabling circularity of resources in the process industries, including waste and CO2 and CO streams. And here we have two topics, one for each partnership. So the first one is the Twin Transition 0111. That is the valorization of CO and CO2 streams into added value products of market interest. As I said, as a process is for Planet Partnership, 60% funded, and it is focused, as the title of the topic said, of the using CO and CO2 streams to develop different added value products or intermediates and chemicals. But it is important to remark that it's biofuels or fuels and energy carriers are excluded because those topics are focused in, I think, in cluster 5. So you need to focus on intermediate and chemicals added value products that can be used in different sectors. And of course, and as we are in an industrial and energy intensive cluster, you need to use the CO2 in those energy sectors, so we can decrease the CO2 contamination from these industries. And it's also important that this valorization should be compatible with renewable energy systems. The other topic of this heading is the Twin Transition 0113 of raw material preparation for clean steel production. So clean steel partnership, 60% funded, and here also focusing in two main raw materials in the iron and steel making route. And you have to focus on iron ore and scrap. And so you need to develop technologies for upgrade the low quality raw materials, reduce impurities before melting, and the valorization of low quality scrap streams. And here we have the integration of renewables and electrification in process industries. This is 3 topics, 2 for processes for planet and 1 for clean steel. So here we have the first one is the Twin Transition 0115, focused on the new electrochemical conversion routes for the production of chemicals and materials in process industries. This is a research action that focus in moving from a TRL 3.4 to a TRL 5.7. And as I said, it's a processes for planet, but it's a research action. And we need to focus on the electrochemical conversion process with photo and or electrocatalytic processes. We need to integrate with renewable electricity. And in this case, it's mentioned the international cooperation with Japan that is encouraged and is expected to cover. The Twin Transition 0116 is the clean steel modular and hybrid heating technologies in steel production. So it's a clean steel partnership topic. As an innovation action is the 60% funding rate, and specific mention to be to the flexible modular technologies and the integration of different heating technologies, and also the integration of new materials and gases workflows in existing steel works. The last one of this heading is the Twin Transition 0117. That is the integration of hydrogen for replacing fossil fuels in industrial applications. Processes for Planet Partnership in Innovation Action, 60% funding rate. So there is the need to reduce the CO2 and NOx levels in these processes, and the hydrogen can replace fossil fuels to generate high temperature heat. So the critical point here is also that there is the need to develop design of new furnaces to minimize these emissions. And also, as we have the new furnaces, we need to redesign the heating process. So what we need to know if we want to prepare a proposal for this destination is that you need to, and this is also for other destinations, you need to check the funding and tenders portal regularly for updates on the topic, because there you can find of course, the full test of the topic, the introductory test of the destination, even the cluster, and also the reference documents with the strategic agendas that you need to mention and find the impacts to cover. The funding and tenders portal also includes frequently asked questions, where they publish the ones that are going to different questions that are repeated to solve any question related to the topic. There is also the possibility to find partners within the funding and tenders portal. And in case you don't have the solution to your question in all those all that information, you always can ask your national contact point and in that case, they can give you their opinion, or also to hire the question to the European Commission. Also, you can check the information of the Horizon Europe Info Day or events. Here I have included the recording for the Info Day for the calls 2021, but also the documents references for those topics, but they apply as well for the 2022 call. You need to find the best consortium to apply. You are going to be specific about covering different roles in the proposals, not only from the technological point of view, but also the social, the digital aspects, the communication and dissemination. So you need to find the best partners to cover all the expected information about the topic. Please remember also that you need to develop business cases and exploitation plans for these topics. So this is also a relevant role for all of these proposals. As I have been saying during the presentation, you need to fit all the tests in the topic and give solution. Read it once and again, because you are going to check if you are missing any different approach, or even all the sentences and words are important in the topic. Then you have to adapt all your ideas into the template of the proposal, and also take into account the page limitation. Many of these topics ask for different demo sites, and maybe your demo site has a huge potential, but you are not able to discuss all the potential, to include all the information in the proposal. So please keep in mind the limitation of the template. And of course, don't leave the administrative part of the proposal to the last minute, because it's always better to double check that all the information included is relevant, because you need to be the best of the proposals of the topic to have the opportunity to be funded. So I think this is all from my side for this destination. I try to be a bit short, but also to keep some minutes for if there are any questions in the chat.
You are encouraged to ask questions anytime on platform Q&A. We don't have at this moment questions, but maybe we'll have them later on. So I encourage our participants to ask questions whenever they would like to, and we will try to answer them.
Yeah, perfect.
During your presentation or after your presentation.
Yeah, of course, you can reach me. You can reach me even in the platform or by email with my contact details in case of any question. I try to be short with the topics description, as there is many people in the presentation, but maybe with different backgrounds, so it's difficult to have all the details for each of them. But any specific question, we can try to answer it.
Thank you very much for this valuable offer, that you can answer questions also sent directly to you via email. And we have some chat. Okay, I don't see questions right now. So I think that we can continue with the presentation and to go to destination 2.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I think this destination has more topics, so maybe it takes a bit longer. So
even more topics.
Even more, yeah. So, okay, here, I think you can see my screen and now in full screen. So destination 2 is about increased autonomy in key strategic value chains for resilient industry. Here I have included again the information about CARTIF, so in case any partners has joined only for this destination. And here also the presentation of cluster 4 with the digital industry and space where it is in Horizon Europe, and the 6th destination of the cluster 4. So now we are going to focus only in destination 2, increase autonomy in key strategic value chains for resilient industry. So as I said before, with the destination 1, here in the strategic, we need to focus in the strategic plan, which expected impact of cluster 4 is expected to be covered here in destination 2, and then have the different impacts of destination 2 that are going to be covered by the topics. In this case, we have the same key strategic objectives, the same strategic objectives and as in destination 1, the C of making Europe the first digitally led circular, climate neutral and sustainable economy, promoting an open strategic autonomy, and creating a more resilient, inclusive and democratic European society. In this case, the cluster 4 expected impact is focused in the industrial leadership and increased autonomy in key strategic value chains with security of supply in raw materials. So here you would see a different approach for this destination that is more focused on raw materials, also a bit of continuation of the leadership and the circular economy, but also the effective reuse and recycling of primary production of raw materials. So here we have next one in the specific impact of this destination. That, as I was saying, is more focused on the raw materials value chain for European industrial ecosystem. Also to support the twin green and digital transformation, but in order to secure the raw materials and reduce the dependence of the European Union on third countries. It's also relevant the sustainable by design materials with enhanced functionalities and application to be used in different industrial processes and consumer products for different sectors. The leadership in producing materials to provide solutions, clean, toxic, pollutant-free environment, decarbonizing industry, and safeguarding the civil infrastructure. Also here, we need to take into account the leadership in circular economy to strengthen the cross-sectoral cooperation along the value chain and enable SMEs to transform their activities and business models. Of course, it can be complete without the adoption of digital and enabling technologies in industrial value chains and strategic sectors. So in this case, we have four focus areas that are going to be split in 6 headings as in the previous one. So the focus areas are raw materials, advanced materials, circular value chains, and the preparedness of business, SMEs and startups. The raw materials, as I said before, is in order to secure them, the raw materials, also to reduce the dependence of third countries and tackle the vulnerabilities in the entire European raw materials value chain. In case of the advanced materials, we are going to see different types and application of these materials, and it's in order to strengthen its capacity to produce and use chemicals. In these focus areas is of huge relevance the open innovation test beds that have been developed also in previous calls in Horizon 2020, and maybe some of you are familiar with them. The circular value chains are complementary to the destination one, as you have been able to see. They are mainly focused on the circularity and valorization of different streams of the processes. But in this case, we need to take also into account the technological and non-technological elements. And the last but not least, the preparedness of business SMEs and startups. We need to increase the uptake of new and digital technologies in these types of companies, because maybe there is the technology is there, but the companies are not using it. So we have, as I said, we have the 4 focus areas, but 6 headings of groups of topics. The new one, the first one about novel paradigms to establish resilient and circular value chains is related to the focus area of circular economy. The second one of raw materials for European open strategic autonomy and successful transition to a climate neutral and circular economy is about raw materials. And here we have the split of the advanced materials focus area in 3 ones. The first one is about green and sustainable materials. The second one about materials for benefit of society and the environment and materials for climate neutral industry. And the third one is more related to the digital technologies, because it's about materials and data cross-cutting actions. The last one is about the improving the resilience and preparedness of European businesses, especially as SMEs and startups. So we can go, as in the previous presentation, hidden by hidden. Oh no! First, the key points of the destination 2. As I said, there is a huge relevance with the do not significant harm principle. In this case, also it's relevant for the secure of raw materials, but also the processing technologies. Other links to other parts of Horizon Europe, of course, are within this cluster. There is the destination 1 and the destination 3. Destination 1 related, for example, with the circularity. Destination 3 to ensure with the digital technologies to ensure Europe's productivity growth and competitiveness. There is also the relation with cluster 4 destination 6, that is the one more focused on the human ethics and relationship. So it's focused on the economic and social resilience, quality employment, and social inclusion. So more focused on the non-technological part. It's also relevant, as in the previous destination, with the European Innovation Council and the Pillar 3 of Horizon Europe, due to the relevance those programs have in small and medium enterprises. And of course, we have all other synergies to develop with other European programs, have the Invest Europe, the Digital Europe program, also the link to the EIT manufacturing, and in this case, the Digital Kick, the Single Market program, and also the thematic smart specialization platform and industrial modernization. In this case, also it's relevant the inclusion of business case and exploitation strategy, but also for those ones that are achieving a tier level of 7-8, it's need to include a credible strategy to achieve the future full-scale manufacturing in the European Union, indicating the commitments of the industrial partners. So this is a very specific approach, and also really important for the impact section of the proposal you will be preparing for this call. In some cases, also training materials for workers and adaptation for the inclusion of these new technologies is expected to be developed also during the project. So here we have the budget of the destination. As you can see here, this is a more complex than in the previous destination, as I have decided to include also the goals of 2021, not only for compare the budget that we can see in this destination is higher in 2022, that as in total is 411.2 million euros for topics, but also to remark that the second line, it's the call 2021 about resilience CO2. This call is closing on 25th of January in 2022. So although it's not a 2022 call, it's still open to participate and to prepare proposal for that topic. And also it includes a different call that it's not focused on research, innovation actions. Research innovation is a pre-commercial procurement. So I have decided also to include it, and just in case any of you is interested to participate in those ones. I said that the deadline for the 2021 resilience CO2 call is the 25th January 2022, but the other two calls of 2022, the Resilience 01 and the Resilience 02 PCP, have a deadline of 30 March of 2022. So we are still on time to prepare. So we are going to go again now the heading by heading for each of the to go explaining all the topics. So in this case, we start with the resilient and circular value chains. For this 2022 call, we only have this one topic, that is the Resilience 0101, focus on circular and low emission value chains through digitalization. So in this case, we have a research action that we are not, no specific general level is set in the topic. And it is included in the processes for planet partnership. So in this case, it complements the ones in destination one, but with more emphasizing the digitalization part. So here we have to assure the efficient use in the value chain in order to close the loop, but through a transparent information system. So in this case, we need to design and pilot information system through the whole value chain of process industries. So the same information system should be included in the value chain, and in this case it would be the pilot of this topic. The second heading of this destination is a bit complex, because it's focused on the raw materials for European open strategic autonomy and successful transition to a climate neutral and circular economy. So in this case, we want to increase the access to primary raw materials, especially those ones that are critical for the European industrial value chains and strategic sectors. As you can see, there are 7 topics that we are going to approach. For example, and I have to try to separate them because they focus in different parts of the raw materials value chain. So the first one is to have new sources of raw materials, that is the exploitation activities in the deep sea. The Resilience 0103 is focused on the good practices in the extractive life cycle, and is a coordination and support action. So it should be included examples of current technologies, and the other ones are related to different data uses in the processes of raw materials. The main difference among them we are going to explain later, but I want to remark also that the only topic that is included in the mining cycle is the last one, the Resilience 0108, that you can see that is about Earth observation technologies, but you need to include all the mining life cycle and take into account not only the time you are going to use the mine, but also the closure and post-closure steps. So we are going to explain in detail those topics, focusing on raw materials. So the Resilience 0102 is the monitoring and supervising systems for exploration and future exploitation activities in the deep sea. It's a research action with a budget of 14 millions, and it's important to that due to the demands of the industries to have metals. There's a different expectation about the deep sea mining, but we need to take into account the technological advances, but also the environmental impacts they can provoke, how to mitigate them, and also the legal framework that needs to be developed. In this case, it specified that you need to focus at least in 3 mineral deposits. The Resilience 0103 is about the streamlining cross-sectoral policy framework throughout the destructive life cycle in environmentally protected areas. As I said, it's a coordination and support action, and you need to exchange the good practices that has been done in protected areas and how they have an impact on the environment. So in this case, the policy coordination is more related with the natural resources. As you can see here is the European Union strategy on nature, the one on diversity, and on general the Green Deal, and not only focusing on the process references documents. The Resilience 0104 is about develop. Okay, here we start with the data uses. So in this sector of raw materials, so this one is about developing digital platforms for the small scale extractive industry. In this case, we need to integrate Earth observation, in situ data, and data modeling to improve the data management and the decision making. So in this case, we need the digital platforms also have to make use of existing data infrastructures that are existing already. The Resilience 0105 is about the technological solutions for tracking raw material flows in complex supply chains. In this case, also is a research action, and it's to improve the data transparency and traceability, also to promote the use of the materials passport, but for all the industrial users from the especially for the downstream side. The next topic is the Resilience 0106 about sustainable and innovative mine of the future. In this case, it's about developing big data and artificial intelligence methodologies for all the requirements of the mining industry in order to make it safer, more sustainable, and intelligent the extraction of those mineral resources. In this case, the proposals have to target minerals and metals to individual elements of the raw material value chain. And here are the two last topics of this raw material heading. Sorry, that is the Resilience 0107 about innovative solutions for efficient use and enhanced recovery of mineral and metal byproducts from processing of raw materials. So in this case, we are focusing on the waste streams or byproduct streams of the process of minerals. And in this case also, we need to focus on energy, material, and cost-efficient processing and or metallurgical technologies and processes to increase the selectivity and the recovery rates. And we need to focus especially in the byproducts that are critical raw materials. The last one is the Resilience 0108, that is about Earth observation technologies for the mining life cycle. It's a research and innovation action, and besides the analysis of Earth observation data to enable the mineral exploration and continuous monitoring and extraction, it has to focus, as I said before, in the closure and post-closure activities of the mining and the expected impact of in the environment. Okay, so moving now to the green and sustainable materials. In this case, we need to focus in innovative new components and systems with enhanced and new functionalities to improve the performance and enable the added value to the European industry in sectors. In this case, we have 4 topics that we can define by the approaching different sectors or application. The first one is focused on electronic, the second one about new materials and how to adapt the current processes to those new materials. The third one about additive manufacturing, and the fourth is about the PFAS-free coatings that are relevant for the environment. So the Resilience 0110 about innovative materials for electronic or nanoelectronic components. It's a research and innovation action focusing as the relevance of these components have in all the sectors of European industry. So we need to focus on innovative materials designs and processing and heterogeneous integration of new materials. In all those topics, you are going to see that international cooperation is encouraged, I think with no suggestions of countries, but there is a specific mention that the cooperation should not include industrial competitors for the European industry. The next topic is the Resilience 0111 about advanced lightweight materials for energy efficient structures. In this case, it's the first mention of new materials, included the bio-based that are maybe more related with other clusters as well, and the adaptation of the manufacturing technologies for these new materials as they have different properties of the current ones. In this case, international cooperation is also encouraged. The Resilience 0112 is the functional multi-material components and structure about improvement of the additive manufacturing processes. And it's a research and innovation action reaching TRL 6, starting from TRL 3. And the last one of these hidden is the Resilience 0123, that is safe and sustainable by design organic and hybrid coatings, that is to develop PFAS-free materials with inherently surface active functions to be used for multi-industrial sector application, and as the previous one, with international cooperation encouraged. As you can see, many of them are research and innovation actions. The next heading is the materials for the for the benefits of the society and the environment and materials for climate neutral industry. So in this case, we offer sustainable solutions for different sectors, including the society. And in this case, you can see that, for example, the first topic is more focused on health application, but the second one with membranes can have different application in sectors. The third one is about retrofitting in buildings. And the fourth is the novel materials for supercapacitor energy storage. So it's focused on that sector. The first one is very specific about multifunctional biomaterials for health innovation. And there is some application of health cited in the topic test, that is tissue engineering, artificial organs, implants, bioinks for bioprinting, platform, microfluidics, bioactive scaffolds, wearable and implantable devices. As you can see, is very specific, but not limited to those applications. And of course, international cooperation is encouraged. In this case, a research is a research action moving from TRL 3 to TRL 5. The second one is about Resilience 0114, about membranes for gas separation and membrane distillation. Those membranes are going to reduce the industrial emissions in the different waste streams. It can be water or in gas state. And the main target is to recover valuable components, and it can be used for different. It can have different uses that separate gas streams, as I said, but also coupled with renewable energy sources. Also, it can be possible the desalination processes and any technology to reduce the water footprint of the process to include. As the previous one, international cooperation is also encouraged. The next one is the Resilience 0116, about building and renovating but exploiting advanced materials for energy and resources efficient management. In this case, we have an innovation action focus moving from TRL 5 to TRL 7. In this case, it's focused on the insulation materials in order to reduce the energy CO2 of the building, but also taking into account the indoor air quality, even more after the pandemic. In this topic, specific mention are done with the open innovation test beds. And in this case also, we need to relate with the Build for People partnership in Cluster 5 and their reference documents. In the next topic about in Resilience 0124, it's about novel material for supercapacitor energy storage. In this case, we come back to the research action. And in this case, a specific mention is about the scope of the topic, that you need at least double the energy density over the current technologies to reduce the cost and minimize or eliminate the use of critical raw materials. So this is a very specific issue to solve. And in the previous ones, international cooperation is encouraged. The last one related to materials have these three topics for 2022. The research action is more focused on the characterization of advanced material, and the other two are innovation actions. One is focused on open innovation test beds, and the other one is focused on industrial system and lines through digitalization. So the research and innovation action is the Resilience 0119, focused on advanced materials modeling and characterization. It needs to combine the characterization methods with the computational modeling. So all those information have to be in an open repository for knowledge transfer. You know that open science is crucial here also in Innovation Europe. And in this case, the model innovation processes have to cover all the stages in the value chain. In this case, you can as in many cases, you can be missing data in some steps. You can it's possible the use of artificial intelligence of machine learning methods or simulate for those stages to complement the characterization methods. The Resilience 0120 is about climate neutral and circular innovative materials, technologies, open innovation test beds, an innovation action that it's focused on the establishment of open innovation test beds for new materials. In this case, it's expected to upgrade the existing ones that has been developing in previous calls, or develop the ones that for new materials, or in some cases that are not available yet. It has to focus also in the sustainability of the complete ecosystem, and it needs to reduce costs for product design, time to market, and regulatory compliance. The Resilience 0125 is about the optimized industrial system and lines through digitalization. In this case, also an innovation action, and it is focused on the need to have robust digital tools to integrate materials modeling and process. So you can complement here to develop simulation and optimization methods. And with all those tools and development, you can improve the efficiency, process, and product quality, and the decision-making efficiency. So here we have the last heading of this destination 2, that is focused on more in the businesses and small and medium enterprises and startups. Here we have the 3 different calls. The one that is from 2021, that is one topic included, that is the Resilience 0232. The second block of topic that you see that are separated is the ones from the regular call of 2022, that are coordination and support actions. And the fourth one is the different call, that is the pre-commercial procurement action, that is to boost green economic recovery and open strategic autonomy in the strategic digital technologies. So we are going to talk first about the Resilience 0232. That, remember, the deadline is the 25th January of 2022 instead of the normal deadline of the destination, that is the 30th March in 2022. So in this case, we have an innovation action focused on social and affordable housing district demonstrator. So in this case, we are dealing with the concept of lighthouse district that are more related to cluster 5 here in Horizon Europe, and you need to the reference document is the renovation wave in Europe. In this topic is expected to have the novel symbiotic renovation projects, to have demonstrator involving different industrial sectors, combining different of them with not specifically of energy, construction, renewables, circular, electronics, and creative industries. And it's focused on social housing, so you need to include association and public authorities related to them. And of course, you need all the technologies included have to be in affordable cost as is social housing. In this case, of course, as in parallel with the destination, it has to be environmental and digital friendly to complete both of them. So this is the topic for January, and then we move to, as you can see in the topics, to the call of 2022, that we have 2 topics, are coordination and support action. The first one is the Resilience 0121, that is leveraging the standardization in digital technologies. So in this case, you need to include different stakeholders in relation with the standardization. So you can include the standardization bodies, but also the stakeholders, also as is the heading, you need to include small and medium enterprises. So in this case, you need to include the standardization between these stakeholders, but also increase the influence of European partners into ICT standardization. So it has two objectives in one. The Resilience 0126, in this case, is innovate to transform in order to support the SME sustainability transition. In this case, as we have seen a topic with the same financial instrument, in this case, it's possible to have financial support to third parties. In this case, it's limited to 50,000 euros. And in this case, we have two scopes of the topic. One is focused on advisory services that are more related, for example, with the mobilization of SMEs to connect. In this case, you can build on specialized business support networks, as for example, the EN, different clusters, the Open Innovation Test Beds, digital innovation hubs that are already developed. And the second one, the scope B, is the financial support with the support to third parties that I explained with the 50,000 for each one as a limitation. And the last topic is the different topic that is not an innovation action, is the pre-commercial procurement, and is focused on boosting green economic recovery and open strategic autonomy in strategic digital technologies. So in this case, we need to bring to the market new green and digital solutions to increase Europe's resilience and preparedness to tackle the circular economy and climate challenge. And the topic is open to proposals for all domains of public sector activity to address public sector challenges that require innovative ICT-based solutions. In this case, these types of calls are more focused, for example, to people that apply to tenders rather than the research and innovation actions that are we are most familiar to. So those are all the topics for this destination, and as I said before, you need to be ready for if you decide to prepare a proposal and be the coordinator, to check all the information available in the internet, especially in the funding and tender, the info days that we have in the 2021 explaining the general approach of this cluster and the destination, and probably that will be one specifically for the call in 2022. Once again, ask your national contact point in case you have any question regarding the topic, if it can be included some technology or not, maybe to check if the idea fits better in one topic or another. To have the best consortium to apply and to give solution to all the specific problems in the topic, and to fill the template taking into account the base limitation. And of course, don't take into account also the administrative part, that because you are going to be evaluated not only with the part B, that is the template and the technological part, but also the administrative part. So this is all from my side also for destination 2. I hope to be brief and explain, but as I said, this is even more topics in this destination than in the previous one, so it has been complicated to have a summary of all of them.
Thank you, Marta, very much for this guide through these numerous topics in Destination 2. And of course, all our participants should do their homework and to go, as you said, to tender and funding portal and to find the relevant work program and to go into details which are in work program. And then, of course, your presentation is like a guidance to find their relevant topics of the course and then to go into details through work programs. I think we have some questions. Marta, could you see questions?
Yeah, I think we have one from Sophie from Voice, and the question is, for calls on resilience of SMEs, do we have to take into account raw materials also, as it is on the destination description, or not? I think that if you have the full the destination, but I said we have different headings, and if you are willing to prepare a proposal focusing on SMEs, but not specifically in the part of the raw materials, I don't think is mandatory to mention it. Of course, you need to take into account the full value chain, but if it's not in relevance of your idea, it shouldn't be included. But I'm not sure if I'm helping solving this question, because as I said, it depends also on the approach, and to have a better decision would be needed more information. And I think the other ones are just thank yous and presentation. Okay, here we have one more question from Francois Lignard, and is, do you think that a coordinator from the industry would be better considered than an academic coordinator, since it is very industry oriented? It depends. For example, for me, if it's an innovation action and it's going to be developed just one demo, for me it makes sense that it's the coordinator, but it's also need to be the coordinator if it has the potential and the ability to it's not only relevant the demo idea, but also the management of the consortium and the full experience with the processes with the European Commission. So maybe it is possible to have an industry as coordinator, of course, and it can be also supported by a research center, a consultancy, to have all those aspects covered from the management.
Yeah, thank you for your answers. Any other questions? We have still a few minutes. We have 3 minutes to start the next session. So please ask 1 or 2 questions. We have time to answer them. If not, as Marta mentioned, you can contact her directly after our event if you will have some questions related. It's, of course, not easy to get through all these topics, very specific topics, and especially that if there is one proposal in your area to be funded, then definitely you have to look for a good partnership and for good partners, and to know who is working on specific proposal. And probably, usually there are quite big proposals with 20 or more partners. Marta, what is your experience? there is a project of 20 million euro, then of course there is a huge partnership.
Yeah, I think the regular topics are about maybe 5-7 millions. The one that implies maybe more related with innovation actions that have to include different demo sites. The demo site itself can be distributed with higher amounts of budget, and I don't think there is a size of consortium, a regular norm, but with 20 millions of budget, you can have several partners and a huge consortium. But you need also to consider that maybe one partner can cover different roles, and to be specific, because as bigger the consortium is more complicated to manage in our experience. And I'm talking all by Cartif. We are coordinators of big projects, for example, some smart cities projects that are relevant consortium with more than 30 partners, and it's complicated to manage and have all the partners working in the same rhythm, and because
Intensity.
Yeah, thank you. So it's important to take into account that you need to cover the consortium, but with the right number for you and for the good project development.
I think there is one more very good question. What kind of role does municipality can take in order to these destinations?
Okay. Role does municipality? From this variety of topics that I have tried to summarize, I think that maybe one relevant can be the ones related with industrial urban symbiosis in that case, and also the ones related with for example, the social housing, that it has to be relevant also with the municipality, that it has to be involved. Maybe the municipality have a more clear role in other clusters. For example, in the cluster 5 that has more. Maybe in this cluster 4, the buildings renovation is more focused on the industrial side, although you need to take into account also as we said, the urban environment. But maybe the one more related with the municipalities are more in cluster 5, or even in the city's mission that is going to be published.
Thank you very much. I think that now we should close this session.
I think we have one last
question.
Yeah. The limit on the minimum number of the country involved in a project for Horizon Europe. In this case, is three countries from the European Union and associated countries. So the countries are limited. I think the limitations is 3 partners from 3 different countries, and that's it. But if you are going to prepare a proposal for these big topics, of course you will be more than 3
much more
countries. Yeah, involved. Because you have also taken into account the different industrial approaches in the different countries, of course, that are different, and take the diversity in Europe.
And of course, interesting aspect is always this demonstration sites, which are a chance for organizations which having such possibilities to be included in the consortia, because consortia are looking for test sites to test the developed technologies or how to demonstrate our implementation phase.
Yeah, of course, you can
opportunities for commercialization.
Yeah, for sure, because for example, you can have different demo sites in a proposal because they are going to use the same technology, but you need to adapt to the specific process of each one. But also, in some sectors, you can have more hubs of this sector, and hubs has more intensity in one country than another, but you need to adapt, for example, with national regulation. So this is important to have, depending on the topic, have different demo sites in different sectors, or having different demos in different countries to adapt to different situations and the different value chain, for example.
Thank you very much. We have to definitely close the session. Thank you for your questions. Will be answered later on if there are new ones. And we have to move to pitching session because we have many proposal ideas presentations. I think, okay, for all participants of the session, we have unfortunately, only 3 minutes for presentation. So please, I will be informing you if time will be running out. Please try to keep your time. And are we ready with Abdurrahman Can? Yes, I can see you. So please start, and I will start timer after your presentation.
My screen now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, very good. I'm using 2 different screens. I hope.
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. It's
okay,
perfect. You can continue.